thank you for having us. This is the first stop on a 1,500-mile trip over the next week. We're going to go around and see as many Masters programs as possible, but really happy to be here. Liam's given me some input as to the kind of things you've asked for, so I'm going to try and cram as much into the next 60 minutes as possible. One of the things he did mention around was land training and some thoughts around land training. There are two things I want to mention around land work though. Whatever you choose to do, and I know everyone has their own preference, in everything I've seen working for about 20 years in swimming now, is that if you start with mobility, your swimming will be better, even if you're no stronger. So there's plenty of fancy things and bits of kit and layers you can go through with land work, but if you do mobility and then basic stability work well, your swimming will go to another level. Okay? Awesome. It's a 3 100s front crawl, nice and steady, in your lanes, 20-ish rest after each one. Has anyone got any questions before we start? All right, cool. Let's do it.
The club started around about 1973 with a guy that set it up just after the Leisure Centre opened back in 1972. In terms of the history, obviously as a club we've managed to achieve 2 Olympic swimmers, one being Alan Ripley and then the other one more recently is Abby Wood. So we've got that history and that pathway of having successful athletes come through the club. As a club as a whole, we start from a very early age of 4 years old and we go all the way up to, well, the oldest is 72 in the pool, so we've got a massive range. As a club, our aim is just to make sure that every single person can be the best they can be.
Okay, we're going to do 4 singles, IM order, but if you need to adapt it and drop in a stroke or get rid of a stroke, feel free to. Of course. I think that adds some more variety to the session. I like that.
We started the master session of the club in March of 2023 and we only had 5 core swimmers at the time. Through word of social media, we got ex-swimmers coming back to us that used to be part of the club. Now they knew they had a dedicated spot. And then since then we've gone on to compete at various events, nationals, regionals, and now less than 12 months later we have up to about 18 master swimmers with more waiting to join the club. So it just shows that the world of masters, with it being fun and a passion of swimming, brings everyone back together again.
There was a swimmer at London 2012 who was like this, almost dead straight, and everyone was going, you can't swim backstroke like that. It's like, well, he's won Olympic gold, so I think it works for him.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great to see some of these guys come back, from, they would have been swimming 20 years ago, and to come back and start competing again, and even if they're not competing, just sort of being part of that swimming family again. They've got the Buxton Swimming Club hats on, like the kids have, like the squads have. Everyone's part of a squad, and it's a great feeling in that respect, from the youngest kids all the way up to the oldest swimmers.